Neighbors tell me that the bloody victim who was shot in the leg hid behind these two vehicles. Then he crossed the street over here and hid behind these bushes before help arrived. This is the road where those geese were run down on Friday. Now, as I was out here earlier today, I found these feathers all over the road. This weekend marks the 55th anniversary of the Birmingham church bombing, which changed the course of the civil rights movement forever. I'm inside of what used to be the master bedroom where not much is left. Pieces of ashes like this. The ceiling fan is down by my arms. Brienne, it is a warm one here today. The parade wrapped up about an hour ago, but there are so many things going on tonight. There's even going to be some live music. Here's a timeline of Judge Brett Kavanaugh's nomination. He was nominated to the Supreme Court on July 9th. The plan starts with the demolition of this strip mall where the new Martin store will be housed. Toothaker tells me he hopes it'll take about a year. Once that's done, the old Martins you see here will be torn down and those 154 housing units will be built. Colfax Ave finally opening up after 2 months of construction. Hear how business owners and South Bend neighbors are reacting to the project wrapping up. You can expect a message from President Trump this week. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is testing a new warning system. Now drivers can finally zoom by Colfax Ave between Main Street and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That is following the speed limit. Reporting in South Bend, we start with that breaking news this morning. I'm Shannon, Litton. Police say one woman is dead after a fatal shooting on Morton Avenue in Elkhart. Now I'm standing inside the platform of Tower 83, which can hold up to 4 firefighters inside of it. And get this thing can go up to 95 feet into the air compared to ladder 1, which is behind me and can only go 55 feet into the air. Developing this morning, officials trying to figure out how a 13-year-old boy got behind the wheel of a runaway ambulance. New this morning, one person is dead in a triple shooting Friday night at a high school football game in Jacksonville, Florida. 52-year-old Kim Winning has lived at her apartment complex for the last 20 years without a problem. That is until Wednesday. Now she says she's afraid to go outside.
Kick, 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 kick. Look at that. They had to destroy me before they left.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. These images surely deserve an explanation. Frail, scared, but somehow brave enough to talk to me today, Kim Winning is trying to move on from what she calls a living nightmare.
I woke up with a gun in my face. I woke up with a gun in my face, and I didn't know what was happening.
She says around 1:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, an unknown man broke into her house, ransacked the place, and stole her newly filled OxyContin and Ativan prescriptions.
I didn't scream. He says, if you scream, I'm going to shoot you. So I didn't scream. I didn't want anybody else to get hurt. You know, coming down here to check on me, he might have shot them too.
Winning walked me through her apartment where she says the assailant destroyed her cabinets trying to look for more drugs, leaving an unwelcome surprise during the crime.
Well, why did he have to poop in my hall? That's like the ultimate degrading, isn't it?
Still, she breathes heavy, sometimes hyperventilating, being reminded of the terror she went through.
What did I do to deserve this? That's what goes through my mind. What did I ever do?
Today, I sat down with Danielle's family at a location we won't disclose for their safety. They confirmed to me today that Danielle was expecting a little baby boy. Now, they're asking the community for help with the funeral arrangements as well as help finding the person responsible.
Imagine if this was your firstborn child. This is my sister's firstborn child.
It's a phone call no one ever wants to get.
I was in bed, actually, and my younger sister, Chantel, had called me.
The call confirming Danielle Robinson was dead, murdered in cold blood.
It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. They decided to take her life for her. It wasn't her time to go. It can't be her.
Robinson was 7 months pregnant when someone shot her at this home on Morton Avenue.
That was my first thought, like, is this a dream? Is it a nightmare? This can't be real. My mind just shattered all over. I didn't even have thoughts.
Sherelle says her sister Danielle was shot 3 times Saturday night.
And they were fatal, but we will get justice for her, and we won't stop until we find who did this to her.
Tony Bonds, Danielle's father, is still trying to process the pain.
I lost my daughter. That's what I'm going through.
Danielle was Tony's firstborn child.
Somebody got to be held responsible for what happened.
An entire family grieving, asking why someone would commit such a horrific act.
But right now, I'm not holding up very good because I'm hurting. Because my daughter is laying out there in the morgue. And my grandson's laying out there in the morgue. And they have nobody in custody.
While I talked to Danielle's loved ones about her and her life, there was a common theme: Danielle's love for her children.
Danielle just loved family. She had 6 children, expecting her 7th, because she loved children so much.
Now, those children have to face the future without their mother.
What was the goal? What did she do so horrible for somebody to do something like this to her?
They want the suspect to turn himself in.
Clear your conscience. Just come forward and, give us some closure on this. I mean, we'll never get closure. We can't get Danielle back, but at least give us a little bit of peace.
Tonight, investigators tell me they're continuing to follow up on leads to find the killer. If you have any information, you're urged to call the number on your screen right now. Investigators say you can indeed remain anonymous. As for the family, they have started a GoFundMe page to help pay for those funeral expenses. You can find all those details by clicking on this story on our website at abc57.com. For now, though, live in Elkhart, Shannon, Litton, ABC 57 News. Adriana tells me that after all she's been through in the last day, she is very happy to be home, safe and sound with her kids. Now she hopes she can be an advocate for victims of domestic violence. 7 years is how long Adriana Lopez tells me she's been in an abusive relationship with Fernando Cruz. Last night, she was pleading him to bring the kids home as he had taken them armed with a weapon after an argument turned violent. She said the following to me in Spanish. I spoke to him on the phone. I was talking to him and he calmed down. He said he was going to return with the kids here to the house. But then he turned the phone off and didn't want to answer. Police say Cruz was driving at very high speeds during the chase last night. Adriana tells me Cruz threatened to wreck the car in an attempt to kill the kids. Now, after being reunited with her kids this morning, she says she feels very calm and safe. Adriana hopes her story can help other women get out of abusive relationships. Don't let someone abuse you, because sometimes it can get to extremes. Fortunately, nothing horrible happened, but sometimes it ends with worse consequences. You can't let yourself be dominated or live like this, because it's not a life if you live like that.